Welcome to Vital Biology. This is Padma. In this video, we will learn about blood coagulation. Blood coagulation is also called as blood clotting and even hemostasis process. So, in day-to-day life, we may get small injuries, wounds or otherwise small cuts. And from that site of wound, definitely blood start coming out, which is called as bleeding. And this bleeding generally does not continue for a long time period. It stops within a short time period itself, it stops. And that stopping and that process which is involved in ceasing of this blood flow is called as the blood clotting or hemostasis. So, which prevent the loss of blood from our body, okay, which helps to maintain that balance of blood in our body. So, that's why the term here it is used hemostasis. Hemostasis means, hemo means blood, stasis means balance. As this particular process involves in like preventing the loss of blood from our body, it helps to maintain the average volume of 5 liters of blood in our body. That is why this particular term is used for this mechanism, that is the hemostasis, like balancing of blood. That is, the blood volume is maintained in our body. So, suppose if this is the blood vessel, okay, so like this, if this is the blood vessel, so here this blood vessel got ruptured. And whenever it ruptures, yes, definitely the blood will start coming out, okay. So, in this way, suppose the blood will continue to flow towards the outside. Yes, the loss of blood may result in imbalance in our body. As we know that blood takes or plays an important role in transportation of several materials in our body. So, such a type of blood, it should maintain an average volume, that is a 5 liters in our body. Suppose at any of our body region, if any of these wounds or the cuts results in loss of blood from our body continuously, definitely, then it may result in, okay, several functioning inabilities and even sometimes it may result in life-threatening condition also. So, that's why to avoid all these problems, our body like maintaining one mechanism which helps in like preventing that loss of blood during those injuries and as well as the cuts. Such a mechanism is called as the blood clotting or the hemostasis mechanism. And during that process, the substance which is actually helps in like blocking that way of injury, okay. So, that reddish, dark reddish brown color scum which is formed, generally that is called as the clot, okay. So, that is the like one of the space which got like opened, and now that opened space got completely blocked by this clot. So, now in this particular mechanism we are going to discuss how this clot actually forms. If this is a injured site, okay, near that injury, yes, definitely the cells which are present in that particular region, the cells will got damaged, okay. So, and these damaged cells will start releasing few of the substances, okay, they start releasing few of the substances. And the same way in the blood, definitely the main like formed element which are platelets. And these platelets also will start releasing some of the chemicals, okay. Near the site of the injury, damaged cells are releasing some of the components and even platelets also releasing the few of the chemicals, okay. See here, damaged cells and even platelets, even the platelets. So, both of these, they release some of the substances near that damaged region, okay. And when these substances will give the signals to the clotting factors which are present in our blood, okay. If you remember, when we have studied about the blood, so in blood plasma we have studied that 2 of the main clotting factors are generally present. So, those clotting factors are like prothrombin and fibrinogen, okay, prothrombin and fibrinogen. But here we should notice that not only these 2 of the clotting factors are generally present in blood, but along with that some other clotting factors are also present, okay. Some other clotting factors are also present along with these 2. But here according to our syllabus, we will just focus on these 2, okay. But all together all these factors, which generally they'll say about like 13 clotting factors are present in our blood. Now these substances which are released from the damaged cells and the platelets, okay, now what these substances will do is, these substances will go and initiate or activate these factors which are present in our blood, okay. These substances will activate these clotting factors, okay, these clotting factors, and this activation is actually occurs in a series of reactions which are called as cascade reactions, okay, cascade reactions. So what is mean by cascade reactions means, so it is in a like a chain like a process. Suppose one of the factor, suppose the factor 1, if it activates the factor 2, now this factor 2 plays a important role in activation of the factor 3, and this factor 3 will activate the factor 4, okay. So like this one factor will activate the another factor. So in this way the chain of reactions or the cascade reactions helps in activation of all these clotting factors. Now once these clotting factors got activated, okay, then one of enzyme complex is formed, okay, enzyme complex which is called as thrombokinase. One of enzyme complex is formed in this series of reactions which is called as thrombokinase, okay, thrombokinase, and this thrombokinase now activates, okay, this thrombokinase now it is going to activate one of inactive clotting factor, that is prothrombin, okay, prothrombin. See, this prothrombin now in presence of this thrombokinase, it converts into active thrombin. What is the difference between this prothrombin and the thrombin means? Actually this prothrombin is the inactive form, whereas this thrombin is the active form, and this active form of thrombin is formed in presence of one of enzyme complex that is called as the thrombokinase, and this thrombokinase is formed by cascade of reactions. And how this cascade of reactions occurs? Because these got activated by the substances which are released from the damaged cells and even the platelets at the site of the injury. And now this thrombin, okay, this thrombin is going to activate one more factor, that is of the fibrinogen, okay. So generally this fibrinogen is also one inactive form, okay, inactive form, but now in presence of this thrombin, this inactive fibrinogen converts into active fibrin, okay, active fibrin. Now so once this fibrin is formed, actually this fibrin is like a thread like a structure, okay. Now what happens is, suppose if this is our site of injury, yes, as earlier we have said, okay, from this region the blood is generally coming out. Now once after happening this all this entire process, whatever these fibrins are formed, now what happens is those fibrins will, okay, they will like form a mesh like structure like this, okay, near the site of the injury they form a mesh like structure, and in that mesh like structure now various cells like formed elements RBC, okay, and even suppose if these are the platelets, so these platelets and even the RBC, that means whatever the damaged cells are present near that region, all those along with the platelets, okay, they will be like go towards that site and they entangled in that fibrin meshwork, and that entire structure now is called as the clot, okay, which we said a dark reddish brown structure. So when it is actually formed at that site of injury, now it stops that flow of blood towards the outside, okay, it is blocking the way. So that's why the blood cannot move towards the outside. So the blood or the bleeding process actually ceases here. So this is how generally the blood clotting process occurs. And here whatever this entire process is actually involved, that is completely depends on few of the factors which are mainly released from, that is damaged cells and as well as the platelets. Okay, so that is what we have to keep in our mind. Blood clotting or otherwise hemostasis, which is also called as blood coagulation. Okay, so once again, so blood clotting or hemostasis is the mechanism helps to cease the blood flow from the site of injuries. And how it occurs means, near the site of the injury, damaged cells and even the platelets, they start releasing few of the chemicals which activate the inactive clotting factors which are present in the blood plasma. Once they start get activated, okay, by a series of cascade reactions, in those reactions one of the enzyme complex is formed which is called as the thrombokinase, and this thrombokinase plays important role in conversion of this prothrombin, okay, this prothrombin into active form of thrombin, and this thrombin is playing a crucial role in conversion of inactive fibrinogen into active fibrin. And once the active fibrin is formed, those fibrin threads are actually will go and attaches near the site of injury and forms a mesh, and in that mesh all these damaged cells, platelets, they will actually entangles, okay, they'll trapped, and all together it forms one of a dark reddish brown color scum which is called as a clot or otherwise coagulum. It is also can be called as coagulum, okay, clot or otherwise coagulum, okay. And once this coagulum is formed, yes, now even the from that site of the injury, now the blood cannot pass to outside. So this is how the blood coagulation occurs. And not only these clotting factors, even few of the minerals and vitamins also plays an important role in this coagulation process, and which are, one is the vitamin K, okay, vitamin K plays an important role in, yes, this particular coagulation process, and along with this vitamin K, even the calcium ions also plays a crucial role in this particular coagulation process.